Hey, what's up, team builders? So how do you actually build a high-performing team? That's a question everybody wants to know the answer to. The problem is we all define high-performing differently. So I'm going to say that the first thing you have to understand when you set out to build a high-performing team is you got to understand what high-performing means to you. So let's define it. What is high performance? Is high performance to you mean selling more homes? Is it going from one level of award in your company to another level award? Does it mean you get to have more free time with your family? Does it mean you go from this gross closed income, 100,000 to 250,000 GCI? Are you going to go from 250 to 500? Or are you already at $1 million and you want to go to 2 million? If you're at 2 million, you want to go to 3 million, what does that look like? You have to define high performing team. So I want you to just pause right now and take a second and write down what it means to you. What does the definition of a high-performing team to you? For me, high-performing teams mean that we have the ability to serve more families, to sell more homes in less time, meaning that everybody on the team has greater life balance. It means we make a boatload of money in less time and everybody enjoys the journey. To me, that's what a high-performing team is. To you, it might mean something totally different. So what I like to do is I like to think about, okay, what do I want my life to look like 5 years from now? If you really can define what you want your life to look like, and then we say, okay, so 3 years from now, what do I want to be going on in my life? I want to have my home paid for. I want to start funding my retirement. I want to pay for my kids' weddings or missions or college, the things that are important to your family. And then I think about, okay, what do I want to have in savings? Where do my debt level? And then I go back and say, okay, I've done 5 years, I've done 3 years, and now 6 months from now, or even 12 months from now, what do I want my life to look like? And then I say, okay, what do I want my life to look like in 6 months? When I think about building a high-performing team, I think about building a high-performing lifestyle. Once you define what that lifestyle is going to look like, then we can create a team to support the lifestyle. One of the biggest mistakes that agents and brokers and team leaders make is they build a business that becomes their lifestyle. And while they may be high performing, they do it at the expense of the things that really, really, truly matter most in their life. I encourage you to define what a high performing life looks like and then build a high performing team that matches it. For me, I think if you're gonna be in real estate, a good goal should be to make $1 million. Let's make $1 million. What does it take to make $1 million? A lot of us don't believe it's even possible, but I'm here to tell you that it is. You might have to expand your market or change your average sales price. You might have to do more transactions or create more leverage, but there's opportunities in almost every market to earn 7 figures in real estate. And I don't know very many businesses where that's actually possible. So the first thing in high performing is define what high performing looks like to you. Once you've defined high performance, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to define your core values. What are the governing principles that you're going to use when you hire people to work with you? Is integrity important? Are you going to focus on having each other's back? Do you want them to have life balance? Do we persist until we succeed? Do we focus on improved knowledge of the marketplace and our skills so we can be better in the business? There's a couple of books that I love. One is The Traveler's Gift. Another is Ogmandino's, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And as you read those books, they're both parables and journeys about people who want to become great salespeople or have great lives. And they have very specific core governing principles that they teach in the books that will help you establish your own core values. So define your high-performing team, set up a set of core values. Now, once you have your core values, you have to make a decision right now, like today, that you're going to hire to those core values and you're going to fire to those core values. I remember one of my early coaches, Bob Corcoran, said to me, we hire and fire to core values. And the core values are so important to me that if anybody on my team deliberately steps on a core value, any member, regardless of rank or status, can release that person from the team. I want you to think about how powerful that is. Are your core values really that important to you? And are you willing to enforce them at that level? If the answer is yes, then you're on your way to a high-performing team. The third and key principle to creating a high-performance team is understanding this principle. This is a Verlism. You can write it down. You can flash it on the screen. You can make it headlights. It simply says this: that which gets measured gets done. We track everything. We track the leads that come in. We track the speed to contact. We track what we say. We track the conversations. Do we get more conversations with a text than we do with a phone number? When we measure and track everything, what happens is we gain clarity. When you measure and track the right things, we gain what? Clarity. And when you have clarity, it gives you the ability to make course corrections. When you don't measure the right things, you're not tracking leads, you're not tracking your numbers, you don't know how many conversations it takes to get an appointment, how many appointments it takes to get a buyer or a listing agreement signed, how many agreements it takes to actually get a closing. When you don't understand your numbers, it's almost physically impossible for your coach to coach to the gaps. And so we measure everything. I want you to think about the things we measure. We have a lead tracker. We have a transaction tracker. We have a tracker that tracks your technology. We call it an AMP scorecard, where we understand what all of the systems are in your business. We track everything. We track our daily success habits. I want you to think of measuring things kind of like having a GPS. How many of you have Siri that you drive around with in your car? You say, hey Siri, take me somewhere. Or you have a Waze app, or you use Google Maps, and the voice comes on and talks to you and tells you whether or not you're going the right way. Even coming in to film in my studio today, I took the wrong exit. And you know what the GPS said to me? Recalculating, make a U-turn, go back. Well, who's doing that for you in your business? You see, when you track the right things, it allows your coach, it allows you as a team leader, it allows you as a CEO to understand whether or not we're on the right track. When we're not on the right track, it allows us to make course corrections or recalculate or make a U-turn. Now, I do mine with an English accent, so at least sounds friendly to me when it's telling me I'm headed the wrong direction. Make sure that you track everything at a high level so that you're able to make course corrections along the journey. If you don't measure it, it won't get done. So that which gets measured gets done. So how do you create a high-performing team? Number one, you define it what it is. Number two, you create a culture of productivity. And number three, you inspect what you expect and you track the right things. By adding those key principles to your business, not only will you have a high-performing team, but you'll be well on your way to having great life balance. When you think about hiring a high-performing team, think about who you're going to hire and how you're going to hire them, what that process looks like. For tips on how to hire the right person and understand the Workman success way of hiring high performers, click the link below to get access to our resources on how to hire A players for your high-performing team. Make a decision to plan out your next 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, and 6-month goals. Decide what you're going to track, how you're going to track it. Make sure you have a system for everything, and make sure that the core values that you create represent who you are in your business and in your life, and that we hire and fire to those core values. Creating a high-performing team isn't hard, but it does take hard work, and you have to make a decision that you're willing to put in the effort. Are you willing to put in the effort? Are you willing to create a culture of productivity? If you are, then we'll help be your guide in the process of a high-performing team.